All right, ladies and gentlemen, happy Friday and welcome back to Two Men in Black and White, an honest conversation. We're going to continue to stay looking through the lens of black and white as we continue our discussion. Today, we're going to start with birthright citizenship as the Supreme Court decides that they will take up the constitutionality of President Trump's order on birthright citizenship, where he declared that children are born to parents who are in the U.S. illegally are not American citizens. But that's not what our Constitution says. Let's check in with our constitutional scholar, our resident expert, Brock Ganeles, from the beautiful confines of the Upper Hudson River Valley. Brock, what say you? And what is the underlying cause? Oh, let me see. I don't know, racism?
Perhaps this is why Project 2025 has this as a part of their blueprint to get rid of birthright citizenship. Because too many black and brown people get born here, and it's harder for us to kick them out when they're citizens versus when they're in any other category. Because seemingly in any other category, they can just beat them to a pulp in the middle of our streets, throw them in the back of a van, put them in a for-profit prison before you ship them off to any country in the world that will take them for a fee.
Sure.
But if they're citizens, it gets a little stickier. So we got to get rid of this. We got to restrict this whole citizenship thing because we don't like the balance that's going on between white people and others. So we got to manage that others side of the equation. My question to you is why would the Supreme Court take this one up? It seems like kind of a slam dunk that there's no way they can just unilaterally overturn it.
Yeah, they're taking this up because they've been told to.
Okay.
I mean, they've been
Okay,
told
so they're told
everything
to
else.
take it up. I mean, can they possibly rule against birthright citizenship and just totally circumvent the legislative branch and say we don't care if this is now the Constitution doesn't matter?
White America does what it wants to do.
I
This is
I
this is
know.
America at its finest. They're going to slam dunk, another ruling down our throats, which won't be undone until we get a maverick in the White House who decides to pack and stack the court or put term limits on these yahoos, especially people who are flat out abusing the position,
Yeah.
i.e., Clarence Thomas, Brett
Yeah,
Kavanaugh.
it seems to me it's under the category of both,
Yep,
right? We need to expand the court
and term
and
limits.
put term limits on it.
Yep,
I mean, it's run its course in its current iteration
in
and its current
integrity
yeah,
and integrity.
it rules. I mean, this group of 9 ruined it. You could argue this group of 6, right, ruined it because they destroyed the credibility
Of the court.
of the court, and now it'll have to be revamped.
Yep. And it's plain and simple. All we have to do is look at the rulings that have gone in favor of Trump. Sitch, Tony Barrett, and Kavanaugh all lied at their confirmation hearings.
Mm-hmm.
They said sorry decisis was already decided. It was a decided precedent. But then they changed it as soon as they got on the court. So, nothing this court does surprises me. No decision surprises me. Once they overturned Roe, I knew they were unstoppable. So, hey, is this going to upend 125 years of understanding of the 14th Amendment? I guess so.
Yeah, apparently.
Why not?
Perhaps. Okay. Yeah, I mean, this is in our top 10 list of things that need to be on the list for Democratic candidates as something that they endorse.
Yep.
They need to endorse either an extension of the Supreme Court and the term limits.
Yep.
And they have to make it a part of their platform because it's a part of rebuilding, in essence, fairness in this country and what we understood fairness to be. And that is a court that has viability and credibility. Fuckers are going to take the job and ruin the credibility of the institution they're a part of. Then we have to absolutely overturn those institutions when we're back in power. And I mean, there's 10, 20 rulings that have been absurd, right? And they keep coming. And
Yep.
we're year fucking one.
Dude, we haven't even hit year one yet. We're 11 months into this shit show. But Brock, remember, we're actually negotiating with terrorists when we talk about the Supreme Court and the Trump regime. These people think Puerto Rico is a foreign country, right? President Trump is still trying to find the phone number for the president of Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I
That's what we're
mean,
dealing with. I mean,
well,
it is nonsensical for us to try to make sense out of what they're doing because you can't make sense out of it. And what we know is what we know is that they all hate the same people.
well, you can make sense out of it because they're playing out of it all came from the Heritage Foundation and these other white supremacy think tanks. I mean, they're playing out of they're a piece of the Project 2025 puzzle,
Right.
right? They're a key enabler and a key implementer of that blueprint. So the stacking of the courts actually happened first, was a precursor, right? We got to dominate the courts, then we'll write our Project 2025, and then we'll start implementing it, and we'll get the rubber stamping, of all these racist, xenophobic, misogynistic, white
Yep.
supremacy doctrine has just gotten, rubber stamped by the Supreme Court.
Yep.
And at a 6-3, it's a comfortable margin every time. I don't know, who the fuck knows what goes through Clarence Thomas's head as a black man. I mean, the black community must just be fucking up in arms, or
We
you've obviously quit on him by now. But you're like, what the fuck was he born to do, right?
we gave up on him a long time ago, bro. We traded him to the white coalition for a bag of basketballs. And, we didn't even need an air pump. We just said, fucking take him. You can have him. Because he's worthless to the African American community. He's not even someone a black father would say to your son, you should aspire to be like this guy because of his moral compass.
Yeah,
His moral
I mean,
compass is off.
he's fucking corrupt, right? He's been bought. I mean, I guess I'll segue here. Can I get some clarity? The fact that I still 2 days in don't have perfect clarity on this DC pipe bomber just tells you how fucking untrustworthy everything in this administration is. But okay, is it a black guy?
Well, I mean, I
The
saw a
pictures
picture of,
keep showing black guys. Like, are we
yeah,
being bamboozled or is that the fucking guy?
with this administration, nothing surprises me. So, this might be just a picture of some DoorDash guy. We don't know,
Yeah, I
right?
just
Like, we have no idea. And, I saw where one of the local affiliates, the NBC affiliate, had interviewed some people from the cul-de-sac. And they said they never suspected anything nefarious coming out of that alleged suspect's home and didn't think he was like that. Um, but who knows?
Yeah, it's
Um,
such a who knows, right? I mean,
yeah.
Bongino's like doing the big backpedal because they can't seem to find anyone who is an insider, right? Which he made his whole podcasting career on. And yeah, because otherwise I'm like, okay, it's a pro Trump. Like the picture I've gotten is like he's a pro MAGA, pro Trump black guy who's also an election denier. So he was going to try to inflict harm on the Democratic Party so as to benefit Trump in the next election.
Yeah.
Or wait, or was this even after the elections, after Trump had lost? So I don't know. He was just a part of the Jan 6 crew. Like, what was he even trying to accomplish? Just to inflict pain? Like, I can't get to the bottom of the story. I can't figure the guy out. And I don't know why there isn't just clear information that has been communicated to us, except for the fact this is a propaganda administration and they're trying to get their ducks in the row on the best way to
Boom.
position this.
Boom. It's all in the spin cycle, baby. You know, uh Patel needed a win badly, right? Bongino needed a win badly. Bondi needs a win badly, right? So, I mean, Brock, it's perfect. A black MAGA guy tries to plant bombs at the DOC, at the DNC headquarters. Are you kidding me? Like, you couldn't have written a better script. to try to Shanghai somebody. So, look, the fact that they've got, video of his vehicle, how are you even getting into Washington, D.C. and getting close to anywhere around the Capitol on the night before they certified the election, right? Everybody knew how contentious it was going to be, right? So, the fact that some Yahoo was able to drive up near and walk with a big ass bag of luggage. I mean, come on. Come on. And you want me to believe that it was Black MAGA? Black MAGA was not safe on January 6th at the Capitol. They don't know who you are, right? The MAGA
I
folks
know.
don't know
I
who
know.
you
It
are.
doesn't really add up.
Makes sense.
It does not add up. So yeah, so we'll drop this topic until we get something that is under the heading of clarity. But it's so similar to the shooting in Butler, Pennsylvania, where
We never
like
heard
the guy
anything.
gets shot and we just never learn anything about the
Anything.
assailant, right? He's just
No
like a black
hearings.
box, right? The guy just no one knows him, no friends, just guy lived a 20-year-old life. This pipe bomber supposedly a 30-year-old life. Like there's no other human beings that have anything to say. He has like no footprint of having any beliefs or any thoughts. And
Brock, think about some of the high profile, kind of anti-government arrests. The Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski. We got information on Ted Kaczynski. We saw his mugshot.
yeah, fucking information. His mugshot. We had like
Yeah, we
a
knew you
book, a
as the
book of
address.
manifesto. Yeah,
Yes.
we got all
What did
kinds of
you
shit. We saw
what did
where
you
he
think?
lived. We saw
Yeah.
where he lived. We knew the whole thing off the grid in the woods, and
Yep.
we got a picture of who he was. It was kind of crazy, but we got a snapshot of it.
Timothy McVeigh, same thing, right? We Oklahoma City bomber. We saw this. We got the same information: mugshots, information, manifestos. Uh, World Trade Center bombing in '93. We got the information on who was it, Sheikh Khalid Mohammed or whoever they picked up there. One of those cats that was responsible for the 9/11 bombing, who was riding in the chopper out of MCC and looked at the building and said if he had had more money, he would have knocked it down. He would have
Yeah.
made sure it came down. Remember that comment? I mean, we got all that information out of there, and now all of a sudden we can't get anything on Butler. No congressional hearings on how the president got his ear blown off and then grown back like a salamander.
Hey, we got nothing on the Charlie Kirk shooter.
Zero. Zilch.
Fucking
Nada.
radio silence. We got nothing.
Yes.
Nothing from
Nothing.
that guy.
Nothing. We do know his wife is moving on, though.
She's got an empire to build.
Well,
Um,
and what we do have, Brock, is the AP reporting as of noon today that the man accused of planting these pipe bombs has confessed, according to two people familiar with the matter.
okay. Well, we're gonna see on that.
Yeah, yeah, we will see because, I just don't understand how anyone was picked up on camera walking, through. And this guy lived in Woodbridge, Brock, which is 40 minutes outside the Capitol with traffic, right? I mean, it's straight down 295 to 95.
Why would he have confessed? Why wouldn't he have a lawyer, and why wouldn't he be just saying nothing? Right? We watch enough fucking TV.
Exactly.
We watch enough TV shows. We know what goes on right here. They issue him, even if it's a fucking court ordered lawyer, right? He goes in. The first thing he says is he don't say a word. Why would he be confessing?
Right. He wouldn't be. And if he did, his attorney would argue right away to have it thrown out.
That it was coerced. Yeah, coercion. Yep.
Yep.
All right. Well, there's more to learn there. But we might not, because that's not the way this administration operates, right? They're trying to control the message of everything in order to shape our thinking as a society.
Yep.
That's the game. That's part of the, in essence, the mental warfare that's been going on. And that's where the GOP learned from Trump, is just lie about everything.
Yeah.
He does it naturally. He did it before he was GOP. He came out of the womb lying, right? Like that's just who he is.
Yeah. And Brock, what we've learned is that we are Putinizing America, right? We're trying to do it the Putin way, right? Which is don't tell them shit. They don't need to know anything. They're just a flock.
Or
Of
lie to them.
Yeah,
Or lie. We lie even more than it seems Russia lies.
yeah.
I mean, we're lying about everything, the
Everything.
economy, every topic. We're lying about science, right? RFK Jr. now's got another vaccine that we can't take because, the last one was because the autism thing, just making shit up out of left field, right? Denying science and just, throwing conspiracy theories out there as if they're fact. I mean, you can
Right,
go up and down the line, right? We're
right,
getting lied to on every single topic to the point where we're being told affordability is a hoax. So
right.
supposedly Trump's going to go on a barnstorming tour across America telling people that things are going great for them. Like he's literally going to try to brute force his way into convincing people that they're doing better than they are.
Right.
But we know the only real tactic for that is to play the racism card.
Absolutely.
That's the only thing that makes people feel better about their lives without actually making it better. It's
Yep.
convincing them that their lives are better than the person of color on the other side of the tracks.
For sure.
So that's the whole play. So it's Somalis, it's Venezuelans. We went through a lot of this laundry list yesterday.
Yep. Yep. So let's talk about the corruption that's going on because this kind of dovetails right into it. Speaking of lying, um, we wondered why Trump made that ridiculous comment about magnets all of a sudden. Looks like we know why now, huh?
Yeah, what, 3 weeks ago, when he told the world, hey, nobody knows about magnets, except every third grader that has to do that class presentation with the iron fillings, right? And you have the magnet. But no one knows about magnets. Yet apparently Don Jr., one of the companies in Don Jr.'s venture capital portfolio
Oh,
is getting a $600 million loan from the Department of Defense / Department of War to
right.
build, like, it's a rare earths company and it's building some sort of facility in North Carolina that has something or other to do with magnets. I
Right.
still haven't figured out the whole thing, but I guess in the facility there must be magnets, which is why Trump was talking about them. But this gets back to that same old question, which is how much of their taxpayer money are white people willing to just flat out fucking give to Trump and his family just so they can have their racism?
Apparently all of
Because
it.
they're being shoveled the racism. Go ahead, have at it. Oh, we'll be over here treating every dollar that comes into the government as our own, be it crypto, right? Be it now magnet factories. Who knows? Jared got his $2 billion fund and now he's back in the
Whoa.
mix. There's no doubt he's back looking to make some more money off of us, the
Right.
taxpayer again, the random white person, MAGA in one of those Tennessee counties that wants their MAGA representative so bad so that Trump and someone close to him
Right.
can get fundled. And we're not talking small dollar corruption anymore, right?
Oh,
We're talking
hundreds of
$600 million fucking loan from Department of Defense.
that
And
won't
that,
have to
that
be
was
paid
just
back.
today. There's
Right.
another one coming down the pipe. That was just today's transaction.
Right. That not to mention, what Jarvanka made there last year in office. What they make 700 million they cleared on
Yeah, I
what?
think there's no surprise that Jared's not back in the mix. He's kind of like shit. He's sitting around watching Eric and Don Jr. make
Yep.
money hand over fist.
Yep.
And he's like, "Fuck! I'm gonna get back in there and get another couple bills myself. This
Yep.
is pretty. This is easy pickings in the
Yep.
second term." And I
Yep.
don't even have to work for it. I don't have to have a job in an office. I can just swoop in every so often and cut a deal that rolls my way,
Yep.
right? Meanwhile, how racist do you have to be to buy like Melania's Bitcoin that's now down 99% since inception? So you just got fucking fleeced, right?
Yep.
Tens of thousands of dollars. You just got fucking taken right out of your front pocket, but you don't fucking care. You're still voting for that MAGA rep because you still need your racism more than you needed that tens of thousands of dollars that you throw into the Melania meme coin.
No doubt.
Like, it just boggles my mind that there's almost no limit to what white America is willing to give to Trump as long as he gives them their racism.
Yeah. You know, having lived on this side of the aisle for so long, I guess I wish I could say I was surprised, but my experience tells me I shouldn't be. You know, some of the experiences I've been through. Um, my professional life, my personal life, I'm not surprised by anything white America does. I mean, I used to wonder, what drove these decisions, and now I'm just like, yo, people are just hateful. People are really hate when you can get beat down on your way to work. You're on your way to work and get pulled over and beat down by people with masks on to be whisked away and not heard from again for who knows how long while they try to figure out your citizenship. I mean, dude, are we surprised at anything? I mean, allegedly smart people are pulling for Trump and his racist agenda, right? We've got uh what's the name out here? Carrie Underwood, right? A Trump supporter performed at the inauguration. And now she's crying and singing the blues because she ain't got no farm hands to manage her farm. Well, woe is me. Well, rich people problems, lady. Go find Clay and Josh and a couple of them good fellers down there around Nashville. See if they'll come up and work the farm for you. Who did you think was getting kicked out of here? You thought Jose and Miguel were going to be able to stick around with the heat that was running around behind them? Are you insane? They want it both ways. And you can't have it both ways. You can't have cheap labor and your racism at the same time.
I was going to say, they want to pay him shit. They want to
Right,
pretend like they're, quote, part of the family and like
right,
we're one big family here.
right,
When what? No, it's clear there's an owner and there's a fucking laborer. So let's
right,
stop pretending like this is family situation.
right.
And they want as much privilege and advantage as they can get.
Yep,
And this is the first time they're just pissed that it's tipped over,
yep,
right? The glass is tipped over. Now it's spilling out on the table, right? That's what Trump has done to America, right? He's just brought everything out into the open. I mean, I guess I'm surprised because I would figure white people will get really pissed when they see their money being taken from them.
yeah,
Like white people that give, right? They care about their money,
yep.
and to see it taken and abused and handed over and given away for free to other people, right? That so I'm just surprised at how easy it is for them to make excuses for the corruption or look the other way and not have that bother them, because I figured that would be where the line would be drawn. Doesn't surprise me that they don't care that there's a bunch of, brown people getting their heads cracked open on the street right in front of them and they're just kind of walking around them.
Right,
You've been walking around homeless people your whole life and people begging on the corner, right? That's just another person that you don't give a shit about. But
right.
but the money part surprises me a little bit. So the depths of the racism and how much it controls people's actions, I guess, even surprises me a bit. But we're turning our head to so much fucking blatant corruption.
Yes.
And in Trump 1.0, it was bad, right? We were
Right,
pissed. It was
right.
Javonka was. I'll give him this. At least fucking Jared had a job in an office and worked in the White House. I mean, I hated everything he did, but like now you don't even have to fucking be near the like no, now it's better. No, go out and start like a bullshit company and then we'll funnel the government money to your bullshit company.
Right.
Otherwise stay the fuck out of here. I don't want to see you, right?
Yeah.
But
Well,
why
Mike,
is America so why are we so forgiving on that? Why are we so accepting of that? Let's ask the people in Tennessee 7.
and don't
So,
forget my cut, by the way.
I mean, I just
This
assume it's all
president,
funneling it back to Trump
yeah,
eventually.
he's
I
got to
don't
get
think
his 10,
yeah,
20%.
yeah, these other fuckers aren't just getting that money.
Yeah.
Like,
Don Jr.'s probably got to give up half of his windfall.
yeah, I'm not sure anything is able to really go into their bank accounts. Like, I
Right.
feel like Donald's got his fucking his arms, he's like an octopus around
No doubt.
all of that money. I'll bet you Jared Scoobied some money away and
Oh
has
yeah,
it in his own account. But Don and Eric, no, I think those fuckers are like they have no escape clause from
sure. Because remember
from
when
Tom.
Trump was hurting for money right after the Biden election, and he was facing the the investigation about the important files, right?
Well,
And
those
he was
things.
hurting for money. He was hurting for money. And you know what? Jarvanka didn't have no cash for him. Remember that? I mean that it's a dog eat dog world out there. But oh well. So yeah, man, give me your quick hit before we get up out of here on a Friday.
Did you see the FIFA ceremony where they handed Trump a medal and they created the FIFA Peace Prize. The world's most corrupt sports organization created a prize to hand to Trump so he could walk out on the stage because he didn't get his Nobel Peace Prize. So FIFA created one. One
Right.
of the more embarrassing 1 minute clips you're going to see in
Ever.
political history. But oh my God, I guess they just want Trump not to fuck up their soccer games, right? Just please don't gun down any of the Ecuadorian players when they get off the plane. So
Right.
I mean, talk about bribery in fucking
Right. It's
in
insane.
daylight.
And the sad part is, this award doesn't even exist. It's a made up, blatant attempt, to keep this guy happy. And just why? Why is everyone so afraid of this buffoon? I don't get it. I won't get it. And I just hate to hear that people are just continuing to acquiesce to this fool, and it makes no sense. Absolutely no sense, bro. So yeah,
I
man.
guess because he's a psychopath. But like, why did FIFA? Why would? Well, FIFA's corrupt, but why would they need to do it? I mean, the games are going on. The games are going to get played, and like, they're worried Trump's going to fuck up the tournament. I mean,
Right.
that's what
It
they're worried
cost
about.
all that money. Cost us all that money. Look, people are already cutting trips to the U.S. People are already, um, not crossing the Canadian border. Mexicans damn sure don't want to come here. So they're not going to be following their team. They're just going to hope and pray they can get their whole team back intact, and all the teams that come here. Because remember who the best soccer players are, Brock? Just like the best basketball players come from the US, the best soccer players come from Latin and South America and Spain. Hey, it is what it is. I didn't make it up. That's where a lot of these really good teams lie. Yeah, there's
Yeah,
European teams that are good. You
yeah.
know,
France is good. Of course, their best player happens to be black, but
there you go. And gets bananas thrown at him on a regular
yeah.
basis. So yeah. But that's that. So
So let's make up an award. Let's have a little ceremony. Let's let the fucking toddler. It reminds me was I was like 6 years old, and I guess I was being a pest at the corner like baseball field. So they let me bat, and I guess I hit it like a little dribbler, went about 4 feet. But they let me run around the bases so that I could get a home run and cheer myself. And like,
right.
so for 60 seconds, I was indulged. And then I was told, now get out of the way.
Get out of the way. Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's what I felt like this award was, right? Trump's the
Right.
6 year old toddler that needs to be, gratified so that he can be all happy with himself. So he'll just stay the fuck out of the way from here on out. We'll
Right.
see if it lasts. I doubt it will. He'll be coming for a bag of cash as well.
Right. Unbelievable.
What do you got for me?
All right, bro. I was going to talk about the peace plan, but you beat me to it. I mean, the peace prize. Um, we've also got some transcripts from the abandoned Epstein investigation in Florida, and they ordered them to be released. So we're going to continue to follow that story.
Oh, the grand jury transcripts.
Yes, sir. Those are
Okay, so that was one of the reasons that DOJ was saying they didn't want to release because they wanted to release the grand jury transcripts as well. So I view that as a roadblock out of the way,
yep,
one less excuse that could be made for why they haven't been released. So
yep,
I guess I'm going to look at that as a positive
yep,
till I know better.
yep, 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 yep. And also, I am no longer a Gene Simmons fan. He obviously popped up at the White House to kiss the ring. So, Gene Simmons of Kiss fame, blow it out your ass, pal.
Fuck,
Won't
I
be
think he's
popular
Jewish too.
anymore.
I think he's Jewish.
Is that? Oh, you're kidding.
I
Uh,
think he was. That was always a surprising thing about Kiss. I'll have to go check my stats.
talk to your people.
Um,
Talk to
check
your
that on
people.
that one. I did listen to some Bad Bunny yesterday. I actually listened to the Tiny Desk concert. Have you ever listened to those Tiny
Oh, yeah.
Desk concert? Those are great, right? They're short, but it also had the captions so I could get the English version of what he was singing. But it slows all the songs down because like it's a intimate setting, so I could really hear his songs and the words. So I dug in on some Bad Bunny yesterday. I'll recommend the Tiny Desk concert for some newbies to Bad Bunny if you
Right.
actually want to follow along on the words as to what he's saying.
Cool. All right, bro.
I'm getting there by the Super Bowl, which I won't watch as I boycott every year, but I will watch the halftime show. I'll
Sure.
be ready to sing along with the 80,000 people of Bad Bunny and some ice agents.
Cool. All right, bro. That's
All
it.
right, Mark, enjoy the ball game tonight. I know you got a big one
Digging.
opening day for those eighth graders down there in
Yeah. In the
suburban
ATL,
Georgia.
shouty. Yes,
Okay, never too early to be thinking NIL and to be thinking
yep.
how to monetize.
I'm gonna put a little Clorox label on his jersey so he can represent Procter and Gamble.
Good, yes. Start working that angle.
All right, bro. We'll
All
talk
right,
to you
good. I'll
tomorrow.
talk to you tomorrow.
Have a
Bye.
good one. Peace.